Check. Good people. Always on the road, man. Economy is tough. That's why, hey, you got to do what you got to do. We got to work, right? You know? Today we got to talk that Hex talk. You know, Hex versus Binance. I've seen a couple of lawsuits. A couple of people are talking about it and whatnot. So that's what we got to talk about today. So someone said, why you always in the car? Because I'm always walking. Crypto ain't paying the bills, bro. It's secondary here, you know. Crypto is secondary, so you gotta pay the bills doing that. So we always outside. So if you don't see us post content or do the stuff that you really want us to do, it's because of, you know, we're doing the mahi, that what they call the mahi, the hard work. You know what I'm saying? But economy this year is tough, man. I remember 10 years ago, man, in 2014, economy was good, you know. I used to ride out in the car with my son. My son was young at the time. He was a toddler, you know. And me and this ninja, I put him in the back seat, me and his mother in the front seat, you know. And we bumping Sage Gemini. Slow down, gas, pedal, doom, 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 doom. You remember that song? That Sage Gemini. Whatever happened to Sage Gemini, bro? This guy, listen, there's certain artists in the world, they just one-hit wonders, you know. But yeah, they just disappear after they give you 1 or 2 hits. They're gone. You know, you never hear from them again, unfortunately. But yeah, man, my kid was, you know, very young at the time, and doing shoppings and everything was cheaper because it's easy to handle children, you know. Change their nappies, you know, feed them easily, you know. But when they grow into teenagers now, ooh, yeah. They become quiet and more distant. Especially me, I'm an introvert, so my son takes after me. So these ninjas don't hang out with no boy. Hang out with nobody. But yeah. Yeah, man. Economy. It's hitting, like this inflation thing is not just hitting the United States of America. It's countries outside of America that are being affected because of disinflation. So it's not easy. Especially as families, you know, you gotta make ends meet. You gotta fight. The struggle is real. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. You just gotta keep on pushing it. Keep on pushing it. Unfortunately, the financial ecosystem is the reason why all of us are into crypto, because it's a very difficult to navigate. You know, your bills, shopping. You know, if you have mortgages, if you have all of this stuff. You know, it's extremely difficult to navigate stuff like that. You know, you got to separate stuff like that. You got to, you know, make plans. You got to work accordingly based off of your wages. If you have some side income hustles and whatnot, you know, go do it. You know, just hustle, man. Just hustle. You can't stop. Unfortunately, we can't stop. We can't complain and stop. You just got to keep on going. Especially us. If you have families, you got responsibilities, you got stuff to take care of. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. You know? But hopefully crypto would work and one day for us to be able to help us and, you know, be retired and you know, so we don't have to go through, our children and everything won't have to go through the stuff we're going through right now. That's what I'm hoping and praying for one day, man. Now with Hex, you know, Richard, I wish he made friends with CZ. I think he's seeing it now, because I remember back in 2019, 2018, when this lawsuit thing was going on, certain Hexicans didn't like how CZ didn't rank Hex on CoinMarketCap properly, so they pushed a lawsuit. I think somebody resurrected that lawsuit or something to that nature. But I'm just saying that to say, looking back at it, it wouldn't have been a bad idea for Richard Hart to make friends with CZ, because back then he was fighting them. He was calling them centralized. You guys are middlemen. You work just like these banks. But looking back at it, you know, he was going after Arthur Hayes of BitMEX. Arthur Hayes OG, you know. That's where I get a lot of my alpha from. I get from Arthur Hayes. People think I be, you know, I don't do Twitter spaces much. I don't do Telegram. That's why you don't see me in many of those things, you know. the alpha really comes from the people who control money that comes into crypto, meaning the centralized exchange owners. BitMEX, Arthur Hayes, is an OG in the game. He's been around since 2014 or 2012 or whenever. OG. Same like Richard Hart, same like CZ. But Hayes, man, since 2018, I subscribed to his magazine, this email thingy, you know, where every couple of weeks he would send you this market update. Now, back in 2018, BitMEX was popping. It was one of the largest centralized exchanges in crypto. So he knew when money was coming in. So he would send us these emails. I was subscribed to his email because I was using BitMEX a lot back then to trade and, you know, to try and make some quick money and stuff like that. I was losing a lot anyway, so whatever. But the alpha he's giving to this day. Every couple weeks, every couple months, he would give you this long ass essay of, hey, the market sentiment seems to be moving towards meme coins. Market seems to be moving towards X, Y, and Z. Money is inflowing into these centralized exchanges, and it seems like that money is going into Bitcoin. You know, within the next couple of weeks, prepare. And then boom, soon as he says it, price shooting up, you know. So he pretty much helped a lot of people make money by positioning themselves early. And that was the dopest thing. This is where I mainly get my alpha. That's why I like Arthur Hayes of BitMEX. He's our OG. I don't get stuff from Twitter Spaces or Telegram and stuff like that. Nah, man, that's where people bicker and go back and forth and stuff like that. Ain't got time for that. The real alpha comes from some of these centralized exchanges where, because they know the money that's coming in and out of crypto is mainly going through them. Centralized exchanges own bull market. They pump bull markets pretty much. So the owners of them, it's worthy to listen to them. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? So Richard Hart going after Arthur Hayes of BitMEX might have been a bad idea, you know. Richard Hart going after CZ of Binance. Binance turned out to be one of the biggest centralized exchanges in the world where, you know, a lot of money going through Binance. So instead of making friends with CZ, he made enemies. And they didn't list Hex. And it wasn't listed. Hex was boycotted on CoinMarketCap. Not only that, it was it didn't do him any favor that it wasn't even listed on CoinMarketCap. I mean, on Binance the exchange. Imagine if Hex on its way to 10,000x being listed at the second largest exchange in the world at the time, which was Binance. To this day, it is right next to Coinbase. If Hex was listed on Binance, you would have seen that $50 Hex easily, you know. We get it. Crypto was invented to go against stuff like that, stuff like centralized exchanges and whatnot. But if you look at your bank and how centralized it is and how the bank's been working for the last 100 years, cryptos tend to feed us a certain narrative that banking system is going to fail, it's not going to work, it's not going to work. Even before crypto, when I was used to listen to Ty Lopez or someone like Kiyosaki, he's been preaching that since 2008 or 1997 or something. Rich Dad, Poor Dad guy. He always make it like when you listen to him, you're scared. You think the banking system is going to fail. But obviously something in it is working in a sense where all of us regular people are using the banks every day, no matter how centralized they are, even though they are middlemen and all this other stuff. We know they are dangerous, but people are using them on a day-to-day basis. Meaning the majority of the world is using banks and centralized exchanges, you know? So Binance, when CZ was preaching against them, when he was preaching against Arthur Hayes of BitMEX, looking back at it, it's been a couple of years and they've been working, and both of those exchanges could have listed Hex and it would have taken off if he made friends with them instead of making enemies, because back then they were controlling the market. BitMEX not so much now, because after the SEC hit them up with a lawsuit, which turned out to be a bogus lawsuit, because when I was reading against Arthur Hayes, they painted him like this criminal type guy. But when you read into the lawsuit and what they pretty much convicted him off of, the DOJ, I don't know if it was the DOJ or they put an ankle monitor on him, bro. And he was on the run for a bit, and then he came back, and now he paid off his debt to society. He's living his best life with his exchange. But, you know, looking back at that, I realized that, yo, whatever they are, telling him that this is what you've been doing wrong. This is what the banks are doing. So he's no different than the bank. Arthur Hayes is very intelligent. He studied pretty much how the banking system works, and he tried to run BitMEX just like that. And that's what got him into trouble. And it's kind of unfair if you really look deep into it, you know? So if Richard Hart from Hex made friends with those two guys, Arthur Hayes of BitMEX and CZ of Binance, you still would have had Hex listed on centralized exchanges. Hex would have been properly listed on CoinMarketCap. Instead, Ricky was just running his big mouth and going after these guys for whatever reason that he had, you know. Unfortunately, that's what happened. So yeah, man, sometimes it's better to make friends in this crypto space. You know, we know that certain things look centralized and they're not. Well, I mean, the system is broken, but the system is broken in the real world, you know. Crypto was invented to go against certain, you know, to go against centralization. But sometimes centralization works for many years. Coinbase has proved it. Binance has proved it. You know, no one ever came and said, yo, I can't withdraw my funds from Binance or they stole X, Y, and Z. You know, you hear that from smaller centralized exchanges where people lose money and they can't withdraw and whatnot, you know. But whatever you're scared of Binance is going to do, the banking system can do it to you. They can just wake up and do it to you. They control all your funds, right? It's one single entity that controls many people's funds, and people at Visa's processing hundreds of thousands of transactions per second, you know. So XRP will never beat Visa. So all these old narratives that they used to sell us back in the days, right, about how XRP is going to become the banking this and that. Some people still believe it's going to go to $1,000 and whatever. What I realize is the banks don't really need XRP. They're working as intended, you know, because ain't none of them ever failed. And the banks that XRP have partnered with, you know, some of them did well, some of them didn't. So yeah, sometimes crypto is just orchestrated pumps and whatnot. When you really need solid businesses in crypto, man. That's my opinion with this crypto stuff. You need solid businesses. Crypto needs to establish itself as a power play. You know, it needs to establish itself straight away. But yeah, looking back at it with the Hex thing, that's my opinion. I think he should have made friends with CZ in instead of enemies, because then Hex would have been listed on Binance and would have been one of the biggest things ever. You know, and it would have been on BitMEX as well, man. Ricky Ricardo, man. But yeah, let's just leave it at that. I think the price of Hex could explode, but it would depend on SEC. You know, it would depend on the lawsuit. If he wins the lawsuit, khalas, done. Ahlan, we're gonna move forward. You might see it come up to like 5-10 cents. eHex even might come back, you know, but Pulsechain Hex mainly could make some noise, you know. Let's just leave it at that. Like up the video, share it, subscribe for some crypto content. I have been Mr. Nakamoto Crypto, and I'm out.